We're here this afternoon to talk a little bit about a project that DOTD is going to be implementing here in the next few weeks. I think February 22nd is the anticipated start date of this project. And the project, we have it sort of highlighted here on our Google map. This is a project that is a stimulus project, stimulus highway project with stimulus funds. And this project actually extends from the Interstate 210 bridge east to Interstate 10, to the intersection of Interstate 10. So it's a very good project for the area, but the reason that we asked DOTD to participate in the press conference this afternoon is to highlight some of the aspects of this project that are going to be impacting traffic flow and, of course, creating some traffic issues along that corridor as that project is being implemented.
Randy said we do have a project coming up on I-210, a construction project, and we're excited to have the opportunity to make improvements in this area. But also, as the mayor indicated, there will be a few traffic congestion issues, and again, that's what we want to bring in front of you today also. Let me talk a little bit about the scope of the project. We're really splitting the improvements up into two different areas. I'm going to talk about the easiest area to start with. From Lake Street on I-210 heading east all the way to I-10. The project coming up will be repaving the asphalt shoulders, we'll be resealing the joints in the concrete pavement, and we'll be patching some of the broken concrete. Now, during this time there'll be some lane closures that will be necessary to do this work, but the majority of these lane closures will be on the off-peak traffic hours. Most of it will be done at nighttime. So there'll be some minor inconveniences, but it'll be very little that the public will notice, and that's from Lake Street east. But at the same time, we'll be doing work between the Preon Lake Bridge and Lake Street, and this is where the heaviest work will be done. In this area, will involve extensive rehabilitation and replacement of the existing roadway pavement. The pavement adjacent to the overpasses, just before and just after the overpasses, will actually be removed and replaced. The other pavement, the majority of the pavement, will be rubbleized and overlaid with asphalt. Now, the rubbleization process will actually have machinery in there, and it'll break up the concrete into small pieces, and it will overlay with several lifts of asphalt. This is the same design that we've used on I-210 west of the Preon Lake Bridge a couple of years ago. Worked very well. It's the same design we used on the other interstate rehab projects throughout Calcasieu and Jeff Davis parishes. So the rubbleize and overlay, it's a proven method to rehab the interstate. Again, we think we're fortunate to have this project funded to do this. During this phase between the Preon Lake Bridge and Lake Street, one lane of I-210 will be closed in each direction continuously until that phase of the work is done. So that'll take a period of time, and then when that one lane is completed in each direction, we'll change and we'll close the adjacent lanes, and those adjacent lanes will be closed continuously until the rehab work is completed on those lanes. So other than these continuous lane closures that I've talked to you about, though, we have provisions in the contract to minimize traffic delays. A lot of the work that we'll be doing will be done at nighttime during the off-peak hours. A lot of the patching that we'll do, we're using a fast-setting concrete, so we'll minimize downtime with that. Also, there's certain times when we'll allow lane closures, and if the contractor exceeds those times, then there'll be a financial penalty for the contractor. So I want you to see that traffic control is an important concern and an important part of this contract. So we've looked at that. As the mayor said, the lane closures are scheduled to begin on February 22nd. The total project, we estimate, will take 8 to 10 months to complete. These continuous lane closures will not take the 8 to 10 months. I don't have a firm estimate on how long we'll have these continuous lane closures, but the project itself will take 8 to 10 months to complete. For short periods of time, some of the off and on ramps will have to be closed. Anytime we close a ramp, there'll be advanced notice through the media to the public. Also, we've got a requirement in the contract that no two adjacent ramps can be closed simultaneously. So if the Cove Lane ramp is closed, the Nelson ramps will be open. That'll minimize the downtime on that. This project's being funded by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, or the federal stimulus money. Contract cost a little over $18.7 million. Again, we're fortunate to have this type of money in a project of this magnitude happening in the Lake Charles area. It'll create construction jobs, and also it'll give us the funding to make the repairs on I-210 that we really need. During the project, we'll have signs on I-10 that will encourage through traffic to stay on I-10 and not get off on I-210. Before the project begins, we'll have message boards on Nelson Road, Ryan Street, and Highway 14 giving information about the project. State police are here today. They'll be on the site present during construction to help with traffic control there also. There's one change in traffic patterns that I'd like to tell you about that I think will reduce congestion also. On Nelson Road, for southbound traffic on Nelson Road, the left turn movement onto the eastbound on-ramp will be prohibited. So all traffic north of I-210 on Nelson Road that wants to go eastbound, we will not allow that left turn movement there. They'll have to go down Preon Lake Road to Lake Street and enter I-210 from that point. Now, northbound traffic on Nelson Road can still make the right turn and go east. Northbound traffic can still go through the lights and make the left turn to go west. Only the southbound traffic turning left to eastbound will be prohibited. Again, that'll shift some of the congestion down to the Lake Street area, but we think it'll more evenly distribute the traffic load for our entire system. Our traffic counts show that the peak hours of flow on I-210 are from 7 to 8 a.m. business traffic and school traffic, and then from noon to 8 p.m. We don't want you to avoid the area. We want to support the businesses in that area, but we encourage the public, if you don't have to be in that area, don't go in that area, or find an alternate route. Go some of the other streets. Just closing up, I-210 in this area between the Preon Lake Bridge and Lake Street was constructed back in the 60s and 70s. It was the first part of I-210 to be constructed. Let me put it in perspective with the Saints. That's about the time the Saints started playing football, was that time. So we've been waiting on the Saints for a long, long time. The road has been there a long, long time. This is the first major repairs that we've had the opportunity to do. So we're looking forward to making these repairs. We just ask that everybody be patient as we work to make these improvements.